What's up, everybody? It's Chad.
And Bianca.
And Maverick.
It's Fernando.
We're here today with another episode of Grassy Logic.
And Gino!
And Gino in the background over here. We're whittling down. Next week is actually the last episode of this season, and we'll be back in January for season 4. It's crazy I've been doing this long already. And thank you all for watching, and we're live right now on Twitch. And so I'm sorry that we're a little late today. We had a couple technical difficulties and stuff like that. These guys are actually on time. We were the ones who were late. So my apologies, but we'll get started here today with a great episode. And before I start, thank you all for driving up here from Sunland Park. I know it's not too far, but it's still a drive.
Thank you for having us.
No, appreciate it, man.
Appreciate y'all, man. And I love the energy and the vibe. Sometimes, I have to kind of up it with, the guests because they're so nervous. So I appreciate y'all.
We're ready to roll all the time.
Heck yeah.
Definitely.
So, without further ado, please introduce yourselves.
Yeah, so I'm Bianca, marketing for Mango.
I'm Maverick. I'm the head of operations.
I'm Fernando. I'm inventory manager.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining me today. We got a great episode in line for y'all. We're going to be talking about some cool things, some not so cool things like Michigan raising their taxes. And we're also going to talk about cool things like New York might legalize medical psilocybin like we did this past legislative session.
Yeah.
But without further ado, let's get into the episode and talk about Mango and all three of you. But first, I really want to hear y'all's background. And Bianca, I've actually known you for like almost 20 years.
Yeah,
I
it's
met
crazy.
you when you were in college, I think.
Yeah,
I was in the
we've been
military.
friends forever.
Yeah, we were friends for very long. We were smoking weed for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before it was legalized.
Yeah, before it was legal, before it was like a cool thing to do. It's kind of cool to see, you in the industry and everything. I get to like go and visit and say hi. Like, oh, I know her. So thanks for joining me, and it's great to see you in the industry side now too. So,
thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And go ahead.
Been growing since 2010 in Michigan. Started in the patient caregiver program there. Then joined Mango with my family. We started it in Oklahoma in 2021. Was there from 2021 till we opened here, and then I came out here to run things here.
Nice. Well, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Like it out here.
Been in the industry for about since 2015.
Okay.
Worked in the grow. From there, I worked as a POS. I worked for GrowFlow.
Okay.
And that's how I actually met Mango through GrowFlow.
Over in Oklahoma?
No, actually, I worked from home, and I worked for that POS system, and I would always troubleshoot their issues.
Fernando was our go-to guy who we called anytime we were having POS issues.
Nice, man. That's great. I mean, you always have to have that guy. The tech guy is always the best one to have on the team. Well, thank you all for joining me. But yeah, let's talk about some of your guys' backgrounds and everything. Like Bianca, let's start with you. What drove you to be not just in the cannabis industry, but to be a cannabis user? I've never even asked you this. I've known you like 20 years.
Yeah, that's wild. We never got started.
I know, right? You figured we would. I'm like, I've never even asked you this. So what a perfect time.
Yeah, no, I started smoking mainly from anxiety. I had tried it in high school, wasn't really like a fan at the time. And my uncle, he's a really big stoner. And I was going through some stuff, and he's like, hey man, just here's a couple joints, And I hadn't tried it since like high school, and yeah, like really mellowed me out, like very much got like rid of my anxiety, and like, I could definitely tell like the benefits from it. And yeah, I've been a stoner ever since for sure. My background is definitely in like marketing, photography, videography, stuff like that. And yeah, I've always been a fan of like the industry, and it's really cool to see it start in New Mexico, and now like being able to be in a part of a really great store in Sunland Park, and I love it at Mango. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the industry, because it's cool seeing you in it now.
Yeah.
I've been fighting this whole time, so when my friends join, I'm like, oh, that's cool, awesome. What we something cool we created. So that's great. And how did you get this role? With Mango, because one day you just popped up, and I was like, "What, dude? No way!"
Yeah. So I actually found it on Indeed. Actually, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and I had worked at another dispensary in Las Cruces, which is no longer open, but I did their marketing for a while. So whenever I had my interview, I had done like package design for them for some products. So yeah, I had my interview with Mango, and yeah, I got hired, and yeah, I love it there.
Well, they made a wise choice.
Yeah, thank you.
The best one.
I agree, and we'll go over here. So how long have you been, in the cannabis industry and just a cannabis, enthusiast user?
I first got my taste in the cannabis industry in 2008.
Okay.
Helping out in the grow is just a grow hand and trimming, and I did that for years.
Mm-hmm.
All the grunt work, crawling under the trellis nest, taking out the heavy pots.
Yeah.
Then eventually got my own grow going under the patient caregiver program we had in Michigan. That's what we started out with there. Did that for almost 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yep. When I have involved in a bunch of different grows, seeing a bunch of different growers' styles, seeing what works, what doesn't work, what works for this guy, doesn't work for that guy.
Yeah, different environments, et cetera, et cetera.
But the whole family, our whole family, from our two founders, my brother and my sister's husband, we've all been growing together since about 2010.
Nice. So it's a family thing.
Mm-hmm. All family. Yeah. Every one of our stores you go into, there's a family member in the back running it.
Nice. So that's a great way to kind of spread it out and get some people in the industry and working too. People you trust.
We all spoke together too, and we all know what we like. So we butt heads, but we make it work.
We all do with family, even with friends. I was going to ask you too, and a lot of people have been asking me this too. I have no clue. Where did the name Mango come from?
So my brother and Kevin, when they were decided to open a dispensary in Oklahoma, they were thinking of a name, and they were sitting on the porch smoking, I think is the story, and they were eating mangoes while they were smoking.
Okay. And that's where it came from.
High ideas sometimes are the best ones.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's still true or not, if they debunked this or not, but they said that if you eat mango when you use cannabis, it's supposed to heighten the high.
I don't know if it's true either.
I don't either.
I like mangoes, and I like getting high, and that's good enough for me.
Give me too. Yeah, I don't care if it doesn't get me high or not. I really do like mango, a little tahini on it. I'm happy. So totally get it. It's a cool name. And the orange. I'm a Broncos fan my whole life, so I appreciate orange. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, cool. Most people go for green, and I'm glad that they thought outside of the box, or yellow because you're New Mexico, and you guys went orange, and I was like, oh, I like that. I can
wanted a bright color that catches attention.
Exactly. It does. It catches attention. And then you see a mango, you're like, what? What is this about? And then you get curious. So I think it was a great choice. It's a great, cool story. Little background story and everything. So thank you for sharing with me.
Of course.
Fernando, go ahead, Senor.
Yeah, no, smoked most of my life. I was a 420 baby, so once I found out about it when I was younger, I think I started at 13.
Yeah.
But then I went to the military, so
well, thanks for your service, Battle.
I appreciate you, man. After that, I got out, went back to it. I used it for my back injury that I had, so really helped me out.
Yeah.
And then moved to Albuquerque, found a grow facility there that was willing to hire me, and worked there since 2015.
Which one, if you don't mind me asking?
I used to work for Our Greenleaf.
Ah, Our Greenleaf. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We all know that name.
Definitely. Been around, man. Big name here.
Yeah, pretty much the whole state. So.
Yeah, definitely. So thankful for them and the experience I got from them. But it's been a great experience working for Mango Cannabis. It's beautiful team. We got for a dispensary that's really paying attention to their customer service. I love working for a company like that.
Nice, man. And I was telling y'all beforehand, I usually have conversations with my guests beforehand, that, the reason why I want to bring guests on and do it this way instead of just, talking straight business is to get people to get a different side of who these people are that are running these businesses, that are in the industry, versus just going off of what people tell them or what we see online, because, we only know what we see sometimes, unless we experience it. So,
come hang out with us at the shop one day. You'll see how much fun we have. We're jamming in there this morning.
Yeah, every morning.
I DJ for these two every morning, and they got to deal with me singing.
Yeah.
So,
what's your favorite song to sing?
Anything and everything.
Oh, okay. I got to go for karaoke.
It's whatever the mood is.
I see Gino over there. He did the point like he's about to do some disco dancing.
Let's go.
I sing all the time, every morning.
No, that's how we know what mood he is in the morning. When we walk in and we hear what's playing.
Yep, if it's upbeat, I'm in a good mood. If it's sad country, I'm tired.
What about if his body? Let the bodies hit the floor.
That's the pre-420 music. Get everyone fired up.
Oh, dude, 420. So if you guys don't know, who, where, what who Mango Cannabis is, they're in Sunland Park, New Mexico. I call it Little Dubai all the time. Coined that name itself. And it's a very competitive area. But you guys have actually a very beautiful building. The way that it's set up and everything, very bright. Very lit up. Some people expect dispensaries to be very dim. I don't know why.
That's why we went so bright.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm damn near blind. And line or two. All the packaging writing is so small anyways, I can't see it in the best of situations. So,
Yeah.
You want a nice, bright, welcoming store.
Yeah, for sure. And, you guys have, I think, the most SKUs in the state, correct?
Yes, sir. I think we're at, what, 3,600, 3,500?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's why we got A1 inventory control manager.
You have to, with that many SKUs. And I've walked in and, it's you look at the wall and you're like, where the hell do I start? Because, there's so many choices.
Man,
but
just come in and ask one of our bud tenders to give you the Willy Wonka factory tour.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I did actually when I went in. But a couple of bud tenders recognized me right away, and I was like, "Oh, damn it! I could have just sneaked in and not someone
Secret
recognized
shop.
me." Yeah, secret shop. People knew me right away. And even the one who didn't recognize me right away, by the time I got to him, we were checking. I was like, "Are you Invader Kush?" And I was like, "Ah, yeah." You got me. So it was a cool experience. I think Bianca came out from the back that one time too. That I went to drop a sample off and everything, and it's a really nice store. It's different from what you run into in New Mexico. Sometimes you run into those shops where you run into a wall and it's a hole in the wall, and you give them your ID, and you're not even sure who you're talking to. Sometimes you run into the other ones where it's just a big lobby, but you guys have the big lobby, the nice, the cool employee at the front who's always very very excited, very energetic. I've noticed too.
We try to stress that, customer service is everything in this industry. What I tell our staff all the time too, even us versus a small hole in the wall store, we all sell the same thing. We all sell vapes. We all sell pre-rolls.
Yeah.
We want them to come back for the experience the bud tender gave them.
Yeah.
A beautiful store is good, but it's not going to keep people coming back. Good prices are good, but everybody's prices are pretty much good these days.
Yeah.
So it's really customer service, customer service, customer service. I say that word so much. If I got $1 for it every time, I wouldn't need to work in the weed industry anymore.
Well, technically you do, because reminding them that gets you that $1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta keep it going.
So it looks like we got a comment, from Twitch over here. It says, "Great customer service is why we go back." So I'm not sure if they go to Mango themselves or if it's the reason why they go to the dispensary that they go to, but it is, and I stress that myself too. Like from my background, I've been in retail management and retail, throughout my whole life in and out, like a lot of us have growing up, millennials. And yeah, customer service was always stressed, and that's something I always want to provide. And the one place where I saw it the most and where they just lived in it, it was like a part of their life, was Apple. And Gino can attest for that because we both worked for them. And they're all about customer service, but they're also about teamwork. They weren't about burning your friend and stuff like that.
We really mimicked a lot of what Apple does. Actually, I'm sure you could see it from the way
that makes sense. Yes, actually, that makes way more sense.
And then even on the team building stuff and all the SOPs we write in the background that you don't see.
Yeah.
Apple Mango.
Everyone. No, and that's great that you guys are focusing on that, because there was a lot of misconceptions that you walk into dispensaries like, what do you want, this and that. And don't get me wrong, there are those dispensaries where you walk in and you're going to get that dud bud tender who just want to sell you something. But it's great because I've gone to your bud tenders and they know who I am, but they're not just trying to sell me whatever.
Our staff we try to get people in who are truly passionate about the job that they're working. We don't want them to just show up and I'm here today.
Yeah.
That's my biggest pet peeve. If I hear them saying that, I'm like, no, you're not going home.
That's fair.
It is just they need to be happy to be there. They got to be happy about what they're selling, and the customer will be happy.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes the customer will take the experience over everything. Oh, this and this and this, but the experience was so fun and great that I'll go again. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I'm stressing about, like the consumption lounges. And I'm trying to tell people, because people are still trying to figure out how to run a consumption lounge and what a consumption lounge is.
I've never really seen any of them in any state ran great.
Me neither,
so
yeah.
I'm hoping to see an amazing one day.
Me too, and I'm trying to help them. I'm like, guys, you aren't retail, you're hospitality. And once you guys realize that, you're going to kill it. But you guys need to realize that, it's different. And, you guys, it seems like you're mixing the hospitality with the retail at the same time, which I think is great. Because you guys even had a really good event this past summer, correct?
Yes,
that
sir.
Big bash. That made national headlines, essentially. I saw it all over the place.
National headlines in the cannabis world.
Exactly, yeah. I kept seeing it all over the place. A couple people from other states was like, hey, what's up with this Mango place? And I was like, oh, did you see the concert?
Man, that was fun to plan. It was stressful, but it was fun to plan. It turned out to be a great event. I think we had, at the end of it, 7,000 or so people.
7,000, yeah.
It all went smoothly. You were there too, were you?
Yeah, I wasn't there. I just heard, Nobody sees all the chickens running around behind the scenes.
Oh my God, I was that chicken and I don't know where my head was that day. I was dying.
Same.
Oh yeah, me and Bianca by the end of it were sunburned.
Oh, I bet. It was a hot day.
Yeah.
I forget why I couldn't go. I think I had something else going on that day.
Coming next year.
Yeah, I'll try to come next year for sure. Well, you guys are doing it next year?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, do you mind explaining to people that missed it, what it was and, what happened?
Oh yeah, so it was our grand opening party. We kind of turned it into like a one-day music cannabis festival. We had a lot of our vendors we deal with, there setting up booths, giving out coupons and vouchers for products, swag. We had a bunch of great artists headlining: Paul Wall, OGZ, Baby Bash, Mexican OT, Crystal Poppin', a bunch of comedians, some DJs. Who else was there? I'm blanking.
We had a glass blower.
We had a glass blower, garden guys, I believe it was.
Lots of food trucks.
It looked pretty stacked, and like the location was, right next to the dispensary, right?
Right next
property
to it.
next to it.
Which that property we own.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of figured. I was like, when I saw that, I said they probably own that property, and it's off of that premises, so this is totally legal. This is. It
was fun, working out the kinks with the state of what we can do and can't do, and it was just something new. No cannabis industry had ever held an event of that scale on site anywhere in New Mexico, as far as I know. But it was the first time for Sunland Park. It was the first time for us.
Yeah.
It was definitely a crazy experience. It was one of the things I'd never thought the cannabis industry would get me doing, is putting together a concert or a festival.
And that's something that the area is lacking because, when I was younger, Cruces used to get really good headliners even. El Paso used to get even better bands. And now, we're sitting here and we're missing out. I have to go to Albuquerque, got to go to Phoenix, and I kind of feel it's time to bring that back. And I think that's one of the steps that we're doing, is something like what you did.
The people are yearning for it.
Exactly.
The reason we did that concert is so many people kept telling us, you guys should do something big. And then somebody casually mentioned one day, you should bring Mexican OT, and then that turned into, let's bring 14 other people too.
Yeah.
It quickly went out of control with like how big. At first, it was going to be just Mexican OT.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be meet and greet and like an hour set in the store.
Yeah.
And then it turned into it's a whole production now. We're getting a real stage.
Yeah.
We had to bring in 40 security guards, I think it was. Fencing, concrete barriers for the whole event space. It was a lot. We had probably 35 hours of Zoom call meetings with the city, the police department, different agencies that got involved. It was crazy.
Holy crap.
It was wild.
Well, y'all pulled it off though. That's the best part. We had
a lot of good help. Bianca really did all the marketing stuff for it. So all the things
our
that
team,
you saw that
not
made
just
it look nice. Be humble. You spearheaded it.
And I know she does a good job.
She does a great job.
Yeah, I see it sometimes. I'll see the posts and everything. So
everything you see for the New Mexico store for Mango is all Bianca.
Oh yeah, I could tell. Yeah, I know her well enough. I could tell.
You know her style.
You know my
I know
style.
her style. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's great. That was a cool event to see, and a lot of people, were excited for it. And when it actually happened, like, oh my God, this actually happened, because we're so used to being told something and it never happens. Or it's oh, it's going to be this person, but it ends up being someone off or something like that.
The only thing with that event that was probably a little upsetting to the people was we had to push the date back, just because the shooting that happened here in Cruces. It got the city worried about security for the event, so they had to scrap the original plan we had, and we had to build a whole new security plan and infrastructure plan for it. I'll show you some of the meeting notes I have for this. It's
wild.
90 pages of stuff. They were covering contingencies. I'm like, are you guys sure something like that is going to happen? Okay.
Throw up a spaceship and
Zombie!
All right, if a zombie outbreak happens,
they have a clause for it.
I know, right?
But definitely, I was all for it. The city, it was their first time doing it. It was our first time doing it. We wanted it to be smooth. They wanted it to be smooth, and it was. I think the worst thing that happened at the event, a couple people got a little dehydrated in the heat. It's expected. It was 100 degrees outside that day.
Yeah.
But that was about it. I think there were a couple people just dropped from being exhausted. Nothing else crazy other than that. I hope they're okay, by the way, too. Come see me. I'll hook you up.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, but pass out there. Go hit them
There you go.
up. That's a good marketing. Pass out at the show. Come hit us up.
Contact us.
That's awesome, man. And do you plan on doing other stuff like that in the future, other than the possible one next year?
It's definitely still up in the air for if we're gonna do it next year. It was a lot to plan, and
Such a short amount of time.
we're definitely still thinking of doing it for locations we open up in the future throughout the state and the country, because we're expanding everywhere, not just New Mexico. But like I said, it's a lot to plan. It got really expensive really fast.
Yeah, I bet.
But it was fun. The people loved it. The staff loved it. I loved it as much as it stressed me out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a maybe. It's a definite maybe.
Well, you definitely set a bar, especially for the Little Dubai area, because that was a good event. And so I congratulate you on that, and being a new player in the area, that was a bold move too. It's like, we're gonna do this, screw it.
We knew we had to come out swinging.
Yeah.
Come out swinging. We were a little late to the game. We knew that, because there was already some big dogs operating in Sunland Park. So, we went hard with the billboards right away. I'm sure you've seen if you drive around El Paso.
I can't miss them.
And, we're working on new designs for those all the time. But, we knew we had to do something to stand apart. Because there's a bunch of nice stores. There's a bunch of really well-seasoned operators in Sunland Park. So we had to try something that nobody had tried before.
No, and y'all did. It worked.
It was a gamble and it paid off.
Yeah, it did. You rolled all sixes. So no, that was a great thing to do. And I kept hearing chatter. People like, oh, they're from Oklahoma, from out of state. And I'm like, well, most of you in Little Dubai are from out of state. Like, why are you guys complaining? And even if
people travel with this industry as each state opens up, those operators from other states to expand, would you want to be in a world where Coca-Cola never left Georgia?
Exactly. And we have New Mexico operators already in Minnesota, and other states that they're moving there. Now we're doing it to other states.
Yeah, once you get good and you find out what's working, you want to expand.
Exactly. That and, one thing I've recently brought up to people is if you look at some of the people that came here from other states, some of them didn't have another choice because their state shut down the licensing. They cut it off and said, nope, no one else. And then they made it so expensive that this is their only option, and so it's like, well, maybe that state should kind of look at what they're doing so that way people don't have to leave their state to have an opportunity until they're ready to go into another market because they did so well.
Yep.
And that's the way it should be. And, that's something that I don't think people have really thought about yet. I was like, well, what's it like where these people came from? It's like probably shitty.
Yeah.
We dealt with that in Oklahoma when we opened up there because we're not originally from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
All of us who founded our operators and owners in the company are all from Michigan.
Yeah.
That's where we got involved in the cannabis industry, but we went to Oklahoma because that market was wide open for the taking when we first started out there.
Yeah. Oh, that market was wild at the beginning. They had unlimited plant caps.
I've been to some grows there that insane.
Yeah, I had one of my buddies was operating there and told me that, he was like, dude, I swear, it's like hundreds of acres of just weed.
Yeah.
It's just
when
hundreds
I
of
tell
acres.
people hear that, they don't believe me.
No, I believe
I've seen it with my own eyes. It's crazy.
Yeah, he showed me pictures and I was like, oh my God, I can't see anything but weed.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy what was going on. And, unfortunately, a lot of that bled over to here in New Mexico when we went legal. And of course, the reason why that happened is because we didn't open our licensing. And so, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot from out the gate. And then that issue came because, they had way too much product over in Oklahoma. They didn't know what to do with it. And it started leaking out over the other places. And I'm sure you saw it in the illegal grows, et cetera,
They're
et cetera.
everywhere, unfortunately. They were a big, big prevalent problem in Oklahoma, but they've been cleaning them up. But they're everywhere. They're all over the country.
Oh, they are. And
from Maine to California.
They're everywhere. You can't get away. And I tell people, oh, they're here and here. I'm like, dude, they're everywhere. And who knows how long they've been there. Some of them probably, were under the radar more than we thought. And now they're kind of just out of the, limelight because they kind of feel like they can.
Just make sure you're getting your flower from a trusted dispo who's getting it from a trusted grower.
If a dude walks in your store and he doesn't have the proper paperwork, don't get it. You're doing yourself a favor.
Ask to see the COA.
Yes, please. Because the money now that you're getting, if it's not in the right way, that's going to be way more money in the end that you're going to have to pay to fix that issue you just created. So try to do it as the best way that you can. Don't try to cut corners because we've already seen what happens when people do that in this industry, and it's not good. You end up not in this industry anymore.
Oh yeah, you won't last long. And this industry's profitable enough if you follow all the rules.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do things right, and if you get creative, some people think that, having a cannabis retail license or just a license in general is a license to print money. I'm like, it can be if you do it right, but if you just sit there and say, well, I'm not making any money, it's like, what have you done? It's like, well, I opened my doors. It's like, we need to do more than that, man. You got to attract the customers. And with that being said, what's some tactics that you use to kind of bring more customers in, with posts and stuff like that?
Well, one of our big I mean, as most people have probably seen, the billboards and the trash cans, I think, are really attention grabbing.
Justin just mentioned that, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just having that out there, I think, for everyone to constantly be in their face, whether you want to see it or not, you're going to see it.
So that brand awareness.
Yes, brand awareness. We're out with the saying goodbye to one of our staff members that was leaving back to Oklahoma. And one of the budtenders came up to you, Fern, right? And she told you about that. She was like, I see your guys' billboards everywhere. And it's like, even if somebody hasn't came to our store, they're at least aware of who we are.
Yeah.
So for sure.
And it's seen, by some people as aggressive, advertising, aggressive marketing, which that's fine.
It definitely is. It definitely is aggressive.
Get aggressive.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Get
You gotta
aggressive.
be. You gotta be.
Yeah.
You want a piece of the pie, you gotta take it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I try to tell people, it's like, dude, just advertise, put yourself out there, like do some posts, do some funny memes, or something, like really get creative. It doesn't
Gotta
have
spend
to be
money on marketing for it to work.
Yeah, you do, 100%. So, and with that being said, with like operations for you, how has it been with, you working this and trying to figure it out, going from working on a POS system to this? How has that transition been?
Oh, easy.
Easy?
Oh, it's been an easy transition. Oh, yeah. Especially with the people that Mango has that really come out and really train you and make sure you understand. We felt the love right away. That first initial meeting that we had as a group, they had people from Oklahoma come down that really showed that they wanted to be here to help us, to guide us, and
Some
it's
of our veteran team members who have been with us for 5, 6, 7 years, some of them.
Nice.
Oh yeah. No, definitely.
So you got a really good introduction. That's great.
Exactly.
That's a different game changing thing too, is training. Some of these places don't really train people very well, and when you train people well, it makes a night and day difference. And I'm sitting with it right now.
Right.
When you allow people to do their job too, and create, that also helps too. And I could just tell that delegating is something that you're good at.
You gotta manage, but not micromanage.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
The coolest thing I saw was when we came in, everybody was hired as a bud tender.
Yeah.
There was no already hired leads. There was no already hired managers. For that first month, it was really everybody getting that equal opportunity to show what they can do and if they can get a higher position in the company.
100%. And, that's probably the best way to do it, especially when you're just starting out. Like we have no clue what these people can do. Let's figure it out.
You gotta come in and earn your keep.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I said that a couple episodes, the whole quote. I mean, why not regulators, Lincoln County, New Mexico. So it all goes together. But awesome. So what are your plans for the future for Mango? What do you guys got planned? A new shop, maybe a production?
We do have manufacturing at our Sunland location. We have a manufacturing license tied to that same building.
Okay.
We are going to be hopefully getting that up and running by beginning of next summer.
Okay.
Knock on wood.
I know we all do that.
And then some more shops opening out throughout New Mexico. Where I can't say yet, but they're coming.
Okay.
We're looking. We're scouting locations.
Okay. So look out for the mango.
Mango near
There
you.
you go.
Mango
There
near
you
you. Look out for the trash cans, right? That's the signature.
Billboards.
Yeah, the trash cans and billboards.
You'll
Yeah,
know
that's
what
the signature.
Coming soon.
That's great. Actually, Justin, he did answer where the name Mango came from. I don't know if you want to watch earlier in the show, but for those who didn't join us at the beginning of the episode, I'll mention it again. I don't know if you want to share the story again.
We were smoking weed and eating mangoes.
So simple.
So simple, but yet so
Brilliant.
Yeah, so brilliant. Like, Gino's like, oh, like apple.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So, but yeah, that's where it came from. And, sometimes the best names and the best things come from the most simple things. And that's sometimes the best thing you have to do. Actually, Bianca texted me one day because I did a TikTok. This is when I had long hair before legalization just happened. And I just said green tea, like that.
Yeah.
And it went viral for no reason. Bianca's like, oh my God, Chad, I just saw you on my FYP.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? That's out of all things. So yeah, it's great when you create something like that and it works so well.
The wildest things could work.
Yeah, exactly. So for those out there who are thinking about getting in the industry, think about that when it comes to a name. You don't have to be like Green Man 420, or Reefer Madness, whatever, or any of these other ones. Get creative.
It's just gotta be catchy.
Yeah, catchy. Get catchy as shit. It doesn't have to always be Zia this.
Yeah, right. Smoke this, smoky, smoke.
Yeah, smoke this, that. Yeah, all those other things. So get creative. You don't have to be so literal. The mango thing was a great idea. Who knows? Maybe someone will make a mango pipe one day. You know how we used to do with like the apples?
Yeah, that would be
There you
great.
go.
We're gonna go home and try that.
I know, right? It's like, write that down.
Write that down.
Write that down. Write that down. New marketing. So, what products do you guys do you really carry right now? Like, I mean, what's your favorite product that you guys have? I guess is what I'm asking.
My personal
I'll ask
favorite
all of
product?
that. Yeah.
Or, I'm a big vape guy. Just for the convenience of it. I always got 1 or 2 on me. And for me, it's dime. I love the hardware.
Nice.
The hardware and the flavors are on point. I'm a flower guy too, but I'm more of a social flower smoker.
Okay.
Wait for somebody to come over. We're all going out. A couple hits here and there.
Yeah. And that's funny how cannabis has kind of changed the way that we think about going out and things like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just do a couple doobies before I go. Before it's like, hey man, you gonna smoke? Yeah.
Yeah, smoke with your friends back in the day. Go hide in the woods behind McDonald's.
Yeah. Like now you're just
Pophead.
hitting the Benjamin
Walking through the
Yep.
wall.
That's so fun.
I love the Benjamin.
Huh?
I love the Benjamin.
Oh,
Me too.
I'm not a big pen guy. I'm more of the actual hit and the flower guy. But every now and then I don't mind it. Especially if I'm in a social setting.
I love a good blinker every now and then.
Oh, that's great, man. And for yourself?
I'm a rosin guy, bro. So, I think, honestly, it'd probably be... it's a toss-up with the rosin gang right there, man. I really like... I want to say I like...
You like it all.
Yeah, man. No, honestly, anything... What I am excited about is to get the new rosin that we just ordered.
The Reservoir Dogs?
The Reservoir
Dogs. So they did just order 100 units from us, from the Reservoir Dogs down in Sunland Park. So.
I only needed to see 1 gram to know I wanted it all.
Well, I appreciate it. We worked really hard on that. And
you guys did your thing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I look forward to having it down there. And hope you guys like the packaging, by the way.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks
Lift
really
the shades
cool.
up.
Yeah, the shades up. Yeah, that's how you pull box. So, thank you all for that. And I appreciate the shout out, by the way.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, we're excited. We're
appreciate
excited.
it. Yeah.
He's going to buy like 2 of each of them.
Oh, I'm sure you got to,
it's
man.
gonna
I buy my own rosin sometimes.
You have to.
I'll give you a good deal.
Okay.
Early bird
Am I? You don't
special,
know.
bro.
Industry discount too.
Oh, in veteran?
Wow, you got support troops.
There we go. Appreciate it. Bianca, what's your favorite?
So recently, we got in some herb infused pre-rolls. They're the newest. Like they've mostly done like vapes and dispos and stuff like that. But yeah, we got them in, and I was taking photos of them to put on our website. And they just smelled so good. I was like, I need to buy one of these. So I ended up taking one home, and literally probably my top infused pre-roll that we have at the moment. Very, very good. I can't wait to try more of the flavors that they have.
So variety here, and I like that.
Yeah.
It's not just the same thing across the board.
Yeah. I mean, I love rosin too.
I know you do. Yeah.
I love rosin too. I love Smoky Roads rosin. They're really great. But yeah, right now, I would say the herb infused pre-rolls we just got.
Nice. And the infused stuff is kind of coming up more in the world. A lot of people are discovering it, especially the hash holes.
Oh, God.
Oh, hash holes are big. Yeah.
All our staff are obsessed with hash holes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
We got a pro bud tender who's amazing at rolling hash holes. Yeah, shout out Leo.
You always got to have that one in the group, the one person who can just who can roll a unicorn.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Yeah. Awesome. You always got to appreciate those too. The good joints and stuff like that. But awesome. Well, that's most of the questions I had for you guys. But my one thing is, what was your guys' first impression of the industry in Sunland Park when you went there? Because that's a very competitive market. It's over probably 90% of the sales are from Texas. Because you guys are technically in the Texas market.
You throw a football from our parking lot and get it into Texas if you got a cannon for an arm.
I can throw it over the mountain. Let's do it. But yeah, so what was your first impression of it?
Saturated. Yeah, it's a very, very saturated market in such a small area. But it was a lot of just stores that could have been doing better.
Yeah.
We knew we can go in there and do our thing and carve out a nice little piece of it for ourselves, just doing what we do.
Yeah.
Not taking anything from anyone. There's enough business for everybody to go around. But we knew they were just missing out on a lot. Nobody was doing any big marketing moves or carrying a variety of product. one of the things I noticed, and it's not just a Sunland thing, but it's all over New Mexico, there's too many dispensaries that are vertically integrated, only trying to push their product really. And the average consumer doesn't want that. They want to go in and see brands that they know, like Dime or Elevated or anything. You know, you want them to pick what they want. You don't want to limit their selection.
Yeah, for sure.
So we knew come in, have what Mango is known for, a large selection, great deals, a bright, inviting store, and that the people would respond to it, and they have.
100%. You know, and one thing is if you're not doing it right with marketing, selling, bringing good customer service, once we go federally legal, hopefully they decriminalize it at the federal level. And we have this interstate commerce stuff going on. You know, we're going to have cannabis more available at different places, in Walmart and stuff like that. So people who don't work on that now, they're just going to lose right away.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're not going to make that
the
next
train will
purge.
leave them.
Yeah, because we're going to go through another purge. You know, there's more coming. You know, this isn't, you know, the only one that we've seen through the industry. You know, because now we're starting to see a stable market, and now things are kind of changing, and there's less people in the game. You know, I've seen some of the, we call them Dirty 30, the guys from the medical days, getting out of the industry. I think just recently, last week, Harvest Foundation shut their doors.
Yeah, and that was sad, man. We did really well with them. Their flower was great. Their rosin was great. Their rosin dispos were great. But it's a tough market out here.
It is, and you know they were always reliable during the medical days, and I appreciate them. They gave patients amazing medicine, and I do appreciate that. But
I hope they come back.
Me too, at some point. But that's the beauty of this industry that we create here. You have a chance again.
Yeah.
You have another chance. You know, if you have the means, you have the ganas, you can try again. You don't have to try to get off on someone else or try to buy someone's license. You can just try again. So hopefully they do, and you know they do it better in this time. And who knows, maybe their flower will be even more better, as we used to say when I lived in Hawaii. We got someone else. Justin, he's asking a question. Is anything that's harder to do with being so close to Mexico? Now that's a good question.
Not really.
No.
You know, I was worried with you know, if we would ever have any issues with Border Patrol, because literally right behind us is the wall. But no, nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes they chill in our parking lot, but that's about it.
That makes sense. But at least they're just chilling and not trying to harass people going in.
We get a lot of customers from Mexico. A lot of people come from Juarez. We've had people from Chihuahua. You know, they come in, they're excited.
Yeah.
Everybody loves weed. Doesn't matter.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but you know, Juarez has like over 2 million people. You know, and then
it's huge.
Yeah, and then El Paso's getting close to 1 million, and so within just 60 miles of Las Cruces are over 3 million people, more than the population of all of New Mexico. So I'm glad that the people of Mexico are taking that opportunity, because they're supposed to have a legal industry by now. Their Supreme Court ruled that having cannabis illegal in Mexico is actually against their constitution.
I did not know that.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, yeah. They've been dealing with that for like 7 years or something like that, going back and forth. And yeah, so by now they should have an industry. But
yeah, the government doesn't do anything fast.
Yeah, never. I mean, look at all governments. But I appreciate y'all, you know, coming on the show and everything.
Yeah,
you know,
thanks for having us.
But is there anything you want to talk about or bring up before we move on to the next topic?
Cleanup.
Oh yeah, we're doing a cleanup Saturday the 25th at the Wall in Santa Teresa. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's an area where people go off-roading and shooting.
Yeah.
Right off of, what is it, Airport Road?
Airport Road.
So yeah, we're going to be doing a cleanup there. We partnered with 915 Desert Rescue.
And baked chicken.
And Baked Chicken Farms too, yep. 8:30 to 11, you know, come out, help support. You'll get rewarded for it. We're going to hook you up with some vouchers and coupons and swag and stuff like that.
Nice.
And get back to the community.
Nice. Well, give me that information. I'll promote it, and then I'll show up too. You know, I don't want anything to, you know, for it. I just want to go and, you know, support it too. And
Come smoke a joint with me after.
Yeah, see, I'll smoke a joint.
Hey.
There we go. Yeah, keep the rest of the giveaways for the other people. So, yeah, I'll go out there and I'll help. I think that's a great thing to do, and you know, I want more people to do that. So, take note, guys. You know, that's how you do it. You know, clean up the area and everything, especially a recreational area. You know, I'm a fisherman myself, and I go hunting, and you know,
that's why I wanted to clean it up. I go off-roading there all the time.
There you go. Yeah, maybe I should start that with fishing spots. Let's go clean up these fishing spots.
There you
Like
go.
smoking weed there.
My favorite fishing spot.
There we go. Right.
We're cleaning.
So awesome. Well, thank you guys so much, and I appreciate, you know, giving us more of a personal information and experience, you know, with you guys and everything versus just the brick and mortar that we see when we drive by or when we walk in. But with that being said, anything else before we move on?
I got nothing.
No.
I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to the next topic, and I thank you guys again. And this is getting towards the end of the show, so it's not going to be as long as the beginning part.
Real quick to answer his question.
Oh,
that
we got one more. I missed it. Go ahead.
I would take the horse-sized duck.
You take the horse-sized duck,
Yeah.
the dinosaur? That scares the shit out of me.
Duck meat is good.
It is, but they're scary.
Just got a point there.
Yeah.
It is good. I'll give you that. What about a goose?
Gooses are mean.
Oh my God.
I fear a regular-sized goose. If I had a horse-sized
Yeah, I got
goose,
bit by one when I was a kid, so I'm not messing with a goose.
Oh, no.
Not
They
even a regular goose. You know, horse-sized goose, I'm running the other way.
Right? It's like, I am not even going to touch that. Great question, Justin. Appreciate that. That was a fun one. And Z-Girl says she loves how much you guys are getting involved with the community.
Thank
And I
you.
agree.
Well, we got plenty more stuff coming too, and Thanksgiving time we're going to be doing a food drive, and then as soon as Christmas rolls around, Toys for Tots.
Nice. Awesome. We got to, give back to the community and stuff like
Got
that.
to.
too.
You can't just, take their money. You got to give them something too.
Yeah, you can't even do like turkey giveaways.
I mentioned that.
Said that
We're
earlier
talking
today.
about that.
We gotta just get a bunch of freezers though.
Horse-sized turkey.
Huh?
A horse-sized turkey.
Can you imagine the gobble on that?
Oh,
my
man.
God.
Could you imagine the leg on that? Oh, dude. That'd be
Wishbone.
smoked horse-sized turkey leg. Oh, that sounds amazing.
I got the munchies, yeah.
Yeah. Now we're talking about food, not weed. All right, so let's move on to the next conversation. Thank you guys so much for that. We're going to talk about Michigan's tax hike. And you could probably, attest to this a little bit. I'm sure you have friends that are in the market over there and everything.
I know a lot of people are worried about it.
Yeah, for sure. And to clarify, guys, it's not a retail tax. This is a wholesale tax. I mean, a tax is a tax either way. But what this means is when a producer or manufacturer, someone is selling to a retail in bulk, they're taxing it at the time when you transfer it there. Here in New Mexico, we don't have a additional tax on top of the already state tax that we have. So I know, thank God. So the 20% that we talk about, that it's not 20%, it's 20% what you add the state tax gratuity to it. That is at the time of retail, and that's only for recreational. If you're medical, you don't pay for that. So get your card. So here in New Mexico, it doesn't work like that, but in Michigan, that is being taxed on, which in the end gets trickled down to the customer, and you end up paying more because they're paying more. And this already goes on top of the retail tax that they have. It's estimated this is going to make, and pun not intended, $420 million a year. I kind of feel that that's not going to happen because of the fact that there's many other places to choose in that area to get cannabis. It's not Michigan, right? It's not the only
back in
place.
the day when it was just the Michigan market that was open, they maybe could have gotten away with that. Now they're too late to do that, I think. And like you said, they're just going to pass that on to the consumer.
And that's all that
Because
happens.
that happens in every industry.
Yeah, exactly. Even with the 1% that increased this year, it just went on to the consumer. Don't get me wrong. I did see a couple places say we're going to eat that 1% tax, and that's on you if you want to do that. But yeah, some places opted to do that, and if you can afford that, by all means. But I don't recommend doing that. What I recommend is fighting at your legislature for sensible cannabis legislation, meaning let's get rid of this incremental taxing that's going to be happening here in New Mexico, I think, until 2028. It will be, I think, at a total almost close to 26% of total tax at the retail. And all that's going to do is just make the customer go back to the traditional market where there is no tax.
They like the title of the episode, the government's taking the lunch money.
Exactly, and that's the reason why I titled it that. Yeah, taking the lunch money, nickel and diming and stuff like that. And and this is something that we saw in other states before. So I don't know why Michigan did this in the first place, because it didn't work in Colorado. It hasn't worked in California. Oh God, it hasn't worked anything in California. So I don't know why they did that.
They're saying it's for the roads. I don't believe that.
Are the roads that bad there?
They are.
Oh shit!
You can hit some potholes that will total your car.
Oh no way!
And I'm talking like your airbag is deployed.
Oh
I
shit!
think it's for those pocket-shaped holes.
And it always.
Just saying.
Yep, it's going in a hole, that's for sure. A government black hole.
Right. And y'all have y'all seen any differences with the tax increase here in New Mexico yourselves? At the retail side, has it been like customers being like, why does it cost more, or have some customers been like, I can't afford it now, or?
I don't think we could really speak to that since we're not even at our full year yet of being in operation, but a 1% is not noticeable, but by the time it's done being that incremental 1% increase, it's going to be noticeable.
Oh, and it's going to hurt. If you guys don't think the incremental tax is nothing, they did that for a reason, so it doesn't appear to be that bad. Because what do they say of if you slowly increase the temperature of a frog in a pot, he'll never jump out?
Not until it's too late.
And not until it's too late, and that's essentially what's going to happen. We're hearing. We had an opportunity to fix it this past legislative session. There was a bill that was going through, but the industry decided to try to ban hemp, try to limit licenses, and other things that would have only benefited a few people. I'm like, guys, we had a chance to fix something that would have helped all of us, and we could have tackled some other whatever issues the
If
next
they would
session.
just talk to people in the industry, they would
Yeah.
learn what they need to do.
The problem at the time was they were listening to the wrong people from the industry.
They got to talk to everybody.
Exactly.
Not just a few people. You got to ask enough of them.
And that's actually why I do town halls. I don't think I've ever told you guys that. I think Bianca knows that. I actually go around the state with me and my girls. The girls that I do the town halls with, Valerie Hubbard, Nicole Jordan, Tracy Martinez, and Karina Miramontes. We all go around the state and we literally invite not just dispensary owners. We want to hear from the bud tenders, the manufacturers. I want to hear from the ancillary businesses too. Because they're
everybody's feeling, different squeezes in different areas of the industry or different gripes about things.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And, we go all over the state. We've been to Albuquerque. We went to Sunland Park. We're doing here in Cruces, Hobbs, Carlsbad. We went to Farmington last year and, a couple other places, Santa Fe. Well, that one got snowed out. We actually do that one digitally. But, we went all over the state because I knew it was going to be different everywhere we went. Everybody's concerns are different, like Sunland Park. You guys see 90% Texans. You go to Hobbs, it's a similar situation. Clovis, similar situation. Alamogordo, sort of simulation, and it's sort of similar situation. Cruces, I feel, is more of the New Mexico market.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're more of the New Mexico market, even though we're closer to Texas than Alamogordo is. Alamogordo has that through traffic that goes to Ruidoso from Texas. We're just kind of I-25 kind of situation. So we don't get as many Texans, and I kind of feel that Cruces has that we don't like Texans kind of vibe anyway. So they kind of chase them out when it happens, because there's been a few businesses that are from Texas here, and the people are like, "You're from where?" "Oh, I'm not going there anymore." I'm like, "Oh, damn." This is
We're all American.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "Oh, damn, dude, that was rough." So there's a lot of that going on in the area, and I think that's one thing because I've noticed that, and I was like, well, Alamogordo has more of the Texans. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have quite a few that come here, but it's nothing like Alamogordo and Sunland Park and those other areas. So I'm like, that's interesting.
Oh yeah, I would say 95% of our customers on a daily basis are El Paso residents.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I tell people, and that makes a total difference. The El Paso consumer or the Texas consumer is different from the New Mexico consumer. And you can see that because I've noticed the El Paso consumer was quicker to jump on the rosin train than people in northern New Mexico. They're just kind of finally getting it. Here in southern New Mexico, we've been on it for a while. It was the north that took a while to get on it. It was weird. And even the retailers are like, "Oh, these guys really like that rosin up here now."
I would have expected it to be the opposite, being so close to Colorado.
You'd figure, right? But I think what happened is a lot of us down here traveled well. We went all over the place because we had no choice. Albuquerque's spoiled. They were so close. So we're like, okay, we'll go to Colorado. Let's check out California. And I think that's what happened with us down here. Is we had
a quest for the good weed.
Exactly. And I've done it myself. I've been to Washington, Colorado, of course, California. And I always try to check out markets. Hawaii, I actually checked out their medical program last year.
How was the market in Hawaii?
The traditional market, great. The medical market, shit. So what I did while I was there, I was stationed there, and I decided that, to give back to the island that gave me so much, I would try to help those. What's up, Ken? Speaking of Hawaii, one of my buddies from Hawaii, I actually met up with them last time I was there. So I've been working with a lot of advocates in Hawaii, I don't really talk about it a lot, but I've been helping a lot of the advocates over there to try to get their medical program to be where it needs to be. And I think they're getting it now, and they're actually doing a lot of good work and getting it changed to where it needs to be. They're going to open it up to the local Hawaiians. They're going to make it more local for them, so it's going to be cheaper. They're not going to have all the corporate companies move in that are just going to take over and have all this corporate cannabis everywhere. Because there's a lot of kind of corporate-y kind of dispensaries there right now, and the quality of it isn't there on the medical side. Especially on the extract side. Oh, God. But there's some really great extract artists on the traditional market side who would just need a chance.
Yep, they just need a foot in the door in the industry.
So, yeah. So thanks for chiming in, Ken. That was actually really cool, especially, me talking about Hawaii. He's like, let's go. So I appreciate it, brother. But, yeah, let's hope that Hawaii doesn't jump on this tax hike thing that Michigan has, and, these other states start doing this too, because that's dangerous. And this is something that we're always going to have to fight here in New Mexico because, they're always going to want more and more and more, even though we give plenty. So that's something that we're going to have to fight in the future. And I hope that Michigan figures it out because this is only going to hurt their industry. I don't think they're going to make $420 million a year off of that. Yeah, I don't.
If it does, it's not going to go to the roads. That's what they said the lottery was going to be for when they brought that to Michigan.
Yeah.
And the roads are still shit.
Oh, that's hilarious. It sounds like New Mexico. They fix ours all the time, though. So, it's like, oh, we're going to fix this road now.
Always
By the time they're done fixing it, it needs to get fixed again.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh god, there's a better way to do this. There has to be. So that's pretty much all I had for the Michigan thing, and thank you for chiming in on that. I had no clue you're from Michigan, so that
Born and
helped me
raised.
out. Yeah, heck yeah. I always want to check that market out too, because you guys have one of the number one market right now, right, in the nation.
It's crazy in Michigan, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of really, 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 really good weed.
Oh, dude, yeah, I've had some that has come from out there. I'm like, oh wow, holy shit, really?
Fire.
I was like, damn, all right, then I'm about to go check it out, because some of my army buddies are from there too, and
Next time you're there, let me know. I will tell you everything you need to go try.
I
And
will.
all the food too.
Yes, okay, that I will do. Both. Yeah, okay. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, that's all I have. Do you guys have anything on the Michigan, tax thing or?
No, I don't think so.
No? All right. So on our last one, this one right here is actually really cool news. It's not like bad news, and I thought it was great. And for some reason, whenever we do something, New York does it right after us. So New York is going to try to legalize medical psilocybin. As you guys, some of you know, we legalized medical psilocybin here in New Mexico this past legislative session. I was working with one of the groups directly to try to help it, get it passed. I was really pushing and lobbying for it, especially at the legislature. And it passed unanimously. I don't even think I needed to do anything. I think the most pushback it had was like 8 no votes on the Senate side. And like, that's impressive, because if the way that how polarized our politics right now, it's really hard to get any bipartisan effort on anything. And that was so bipartisan, it warmed my heart, Gino over there. So it was great to see. Now, New York is trying to do the same thing. They're going through the legislature, and they're going to go through the whole process and everything like that. So I hope they do. There's a lot of push from the federal government, even from the VA, to use psychedelics and medical mushrooms more than there is cannabis. For some reason, I've brought this up many times. Cannabis has a stigma, more of a stigma than psilocybin. And I have no clue why. It just blows my mind. I'm like,
neither do I, but that's a good thing for psilocybin that it's going forward. It really works.
No, it does. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And I've used it myself, even on a microdose level, and I've seen the changes myself. And
take a hero dose.
Oh, dude, I'm getting there. Yeah, I want to take a hero dose. I'm getting there, but
it's fun.
Yeah. Whatever the mushroom needs to show me, I guess I'll see it that day.
There you go.
Whether you want to or not.
Yeah. Whatever it is, it needs to see it. But yeah, it feels like it teaches you, more than anything. Like you learn things about yourself, and what I think it is, it gives you a humble experience. It kind of brings you to a place where you're just like, oh, whoa, I'm at a level playing field, and then your mind goes to somewhere else. So I hope that they work on that, because veterans live in in all states, and in all territories, and even different countries. And so this right here will help veterans out directly. And you guys know I've all been about veterans since this whole time. I've started this in 2013. The reason why I started this is because I lost my sister to prescription pills in 2010, who was also a veteran, and then I was dealing with my PTSD thing after Iraq. So whenever I have a chance to try to help my vets, I do, or any chance I can support it, I will. And this will directly help my veterans. And I'm sure you can attest to that as well too, Beth.
Yes, sir.
Because we're one of the groups of people that the government tends to just sweep aside. And it'd be great for us to have something like this. And here in New Mexico, we'll probably get that. I think in 2027 is when our industry will prop up and everything like that. So, do you guys have any comments about the New York stuff, or?
I hope they make it happen, man.
Yeah,
Veterans deserve
definitely.
all we can do for them and more.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. So
and I like shrooms.
It's a great experience, and a lot of people have been moving towards that as well too. Instead of just doing straight prescription pills, or I'm messed up and I just need to take this pill the rest of my life. And some people are like, I did a hero dose and I've been good ever since. Or
I like that saying I heard about a bit large dose of shrooms is like 5 years of talk therapy condensed into an evening.
Yeah.
And it really is. It really is. It'll change your life for the better as long as you're in the right headspace before you do it.
Yeah, 100%. And hopefully New York pushes out, a lot of education, and they ensure that they're doing this in a safe manner, because this isn't cannabis. I said this before when we were going to do this here in New Mexico, is we can't do this the way that we did with cannabis, because it's not cannabis. This will make you see Jesus, Muhammad, and Shiva all at the same time. So we have to be sure that we're doing this safely. We want to make sure people are in safe environments. We want to make sure that the product that they're getting is safe too. So we'll see what comes from the testing standards, all that other stuff that comes down the line. But I hope this passes. This is something that they're just kind of talking about, doing within the legislature. But I really hope it gets some traction and passes. So we'll see what happens. Are you going to say something, Gino?
Oh no, it's a bad joke. Bad joke.
We'll stay it off stream.
It'll be Jesus, Muhammad, Shiva, and Steve.
Who's Steve?
Scuba Steve.
Oh! He would be there, wouldn't he? Damn you, Scuba Steve!
That was Scuba Steve. And he will give the best advice ever.
Oh, he would, dude.
He would, yeah.
100%. So, but yeah, that's all I have for this week, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, especially on the live right here. Thank y'all. I don't know how many do we have total to this week. I'm not sure.
See it right here.
We're a little late, so I'm sorry those of you who maybe were here and then jumped off. We'll try to get better at next week, but that's the season finale. I'm gonna try to keep up with the Twitch thing off season, so look out for that too. I'll be doing that here. But I want to thank all of you personally for coming on the show today.
Yeah, thank you for
Thanks for
having us.
having us.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And thank you all for watching again. We'll be back with another episode of #Grassy Logic season finale next week. So be ready for that. And I'll see y'all again. All right, shoots.